Hello and welcome. And I think when you're watching these frames you already know what we are tying. Maybe. This is one of the most famous nymphs in the world. And also one of my truly favorites. This is a copper john. You can tie it in many different ways, but this is the way I tie it. So, yeah, let's begin. This is just a normal brass bead, copper, 3 millimeters. And the hook in the vise is a Ahrex sedge. I think it's called 521, this barbless one. And then I just use a few wraps with some extra lead. Just to hold this on place. And I use a thread. This is a 18/0 Semperfli Nanosil, which is a quite nice and strong thread. And then for the tails we're gonna use Biot, turkey bites. You can also use goose bites actually, because the length really doesn't matter for this one. And I cut 2 off from the stem and I turn them so they are turned to each other, so they are shaping a little V. And then I measure them out, so they will be around 1/3 of the body. And you can use this like a little base of the body to make it a little tapered, like that. And then for the body we're gonna use UTC wire copper, the size medium, and we start to tie it in already here. And then we follow the wire to the hook bend where we're gonna start with the body. But I really want a tapered nice body, and I don't want to see the wire through, so I do quite many wraps with the thread, so like a normal insect having a kind of tapered body as the mayfly nymph. It's something about copper. I tie this in 2 colors, copper or golden olive, which seem to work really nice all over the world actually, both in Sweden, Slovenia, New Zealand, yeah, wherever. And when I feel that the body is kind of tapered, I start to wrap tight wraps with this wire. You want it as tight as possible, so when I wrap it I also like pull it almost a little back, because then it will line up perfect. Because then the fly looks also nice, more nice. Something like that, half of the fly. I do a lot of wraps, and then I use a braid cutter from Renowned, which is a really nice extra pair of cutters or scissors to have for this thing. And I love to have a little flashback in this, so I actually use some pearl tinsel. This is from Vivus, the size large or medium, really doesn't matter. And I start with tying this in. And then for the Wingcase, I like to have some pheasant tail, which is really nice. And you want this to be slightly more fibrous, so when you pull this over the tinsel, you want it to cover, not to cover it too much. That is perfect. And then for the thorax, you can use any dubbing as you like hare's dubbing or squirrel dubbing or something. You can decide. This is some snowshoe rabbit foot dubbing in the color pheasant tail, which has a nice olive brown color to it. And you build up the thorax like this. And then for legs, you can either tie them with these Biot legs if you want that, but I like to use some soft tackle. This is our own NTS hen saddle, but you can use any hen saddle as you want. And something that match up some sort of brown color is nice. Don't do too many thread wraps. This is good with this thread because it's really thin and really strong, so it's enough to just do like 2-3 thread wraps, and it doesn't like build up so much. And you don't want too many legs, so I just do like one full turn with this. And got it stuck, and then just rip it off. That is nice. And then I just turn these fibers of the pheasant tail, and I do 2 turns, and then I take this flash the same way. You can pull it down a bit and then you just cut this off, those fibers and that flash, of course. And then you just whip finish the fly. And you want to strengthen up this Wingcase a little bit, so I use a UV resin. You can either use, I use GULFF Flexman or Tinman, doesn't matter, Flexman is a good one. And I take just one first, turn it and burn it. And if you're happy with how that went, you can just leave it there. But if you want a little bit more, to have a slightly bump of this resin Wingcase, you can just take a little bit more, flash it with your UV light. So there is the fly. And it's one of the best flies, best nymphs you can have in your box. So tie it up in both copper and golden olive. You won't regret it. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And yeah, leave a comment if you have with your favorite nymphs, and maybe I will tie that up also. So thank you.